As it's Christmas, I'm hoping that instead of a miracle on 34th Street, I'm hoping that in our community politics, we might see a miracle on Portishead High Street, and to be more precise, in this hall. It's amazing that people's perception of others can be very different. Those who are found to not conduct themselves with good order are sometimes taken in by the police and given a reprimand about appropriate behaviour. Those who are dishonest in their actions are often put in the local paper for all to see. Some are asked to be accountable for their wrongdoings before a judge or a magistrate. But it seems that in Portishead Politics, and not forgetting those at district level, feel they are above accountability and they do not have to adhere to the same rules as others. The boundaries they feel others should adhere to are quickly dismissed when they have a specific agenda of their own to fulfil. Those in our community who choose to be elected as a councillor sometimes seem to feel that people who ask questions of them are somehow troublemakers or time wasters, and some of you councillors have even called members of the public silly, offensive and even hostile for merely asking valid questions. I'm sad today to hear Mrs Cruse, chair of this town council, that she feels it's okay to accuse a resident of being offensive without explaining her reasons. And yes, it's true, in the standing orders, her decision is final. But does that make it right that a member of the public is accused wrongly of being offensive without her having to explain to that member of the public why? Sad that Mrs Cruse bluntly remarks no comment when asked by other residents to explain herself. The Code of Conduct is quite clear about councillors' obligations, and rather than reminding the public about standing orders, I would respectfully say perhaps you ought to look at your own Code of Conduct. It says that they should be respectful. Saying in response to Paul Mortby last month, I don't care, I'm not bothered, is not particularly respectful. It may also be considered intimidatory by the person it is aimed at. More importantly, the words no comment indicate that Mrs Cruse, in refusing to answer a valid question, may be conferring some sort of advantage over somebody else because she knows the reasons why she spoke those words but is not willing to share them with anybody else. That is breaking the Code of Conduct. The reasons cannot be confidential, they are not prohibited by law, and we are the public that you represent, and you should be able to share your reasons with us. It's not satisfactory to say you're not. Those reasons should be given here tonight. An apology should also be given to Mrs Davey, if for nothing else, the fact it's Christmas. Then we have the skate park issue. There are no hoops in this room at the moment. Theoretically speaking, they've been removed. For many years, members of Portishead Skatepark project and residents in this town had to jump through so many hoops and over so many obstacles on the skate park. They were told that any prospective sites for a wheels park had to be discussed with North Somerset Council from the outset. Indeed, they and council officers were told by Councillor at-Rees Deputy Leader, we can't have people going off and doing their own thing. And our much respected town councillor, Lisa Stanley, who's no longer a town councillor, was told that very strict rules adhered. She had to adhere to them for planning and the skate park locations. So why now can a town councillor ignore due process and conduct secret meetings with a developer or a private enterprise allegedly connected to the railway, and I emphasise allegedly, without abiding by the same rules that applied to others all those years ago? Planning rules, section 106, and opportunities for land grabbing are strictly monitored to ensure openness, honesty and transparency. So why is this town council party to secret discussions which they are not sharing with the district council? And that person cannot be a district councillor because they have not complied with the FOI request, which means they are breaking a criminal law.
Thank you very much.
Can someone answer the question? Can someone answer the question, please? Why is the town councillor conducting secret meetings behind the backs of not only us, but the district council?
I'm not, and I don't know of any others who are.
Well, that's strange because you're chair of this town council, and I've had a letter from the district council saying that we have spoken to Portishead Town Council, who have confirmed that they have approached the landowner, but North Somerset Council has not been privy to this correspondence. And I've sent that to Joe.
That's actually, the letter that was raised from that was discussed at a council meeting. The letter went out at the beginning of mid-April to 2 developers asking if the plot of land that was originally set aside for the station location would be a possibility for a skate park in the future.
That was a long time ago, Joe. This is now. This is now. This is
I
dated.
don't think that we
This
need to
was
have
after
a
May.
discussion about this now.
Well,
All I can
what
say
a
to you-
surprise! What a
With
surprise!
due respect, Mrs Hennessy,
What a surprise!
when you ask a question like that, if I know nothing about it, and I can quite honestly say I know nothing about it at all, the clerk has tried to explain to you what she knows. I'm sorry, unless somebody here...
Would you like to ask your councillors, the town councillors now? Can we not ask them? Because
No,
I know that what David Oyns knows. Let's say that. Let's put his name out
There's an
there.
active freedom of information request that I received from you today asking that exact question. So
Well, can we ask Mr. Oyns, because he seems to know and he hasn't told you. That's
I
worrying,
think that's
isn't
an
it?
unfair thing to do in a meeting.
No, it's not unfair. It's the truth. Let's have the facts, shall
No, I
we?
think it's unfair to expect somebody to speak about something in a meeting which may well, at the end of the day, mean that we won't get a
Well,
single car.
please don't remind us about standing orders, Mrs. Cruse, if you're not going to adhere to your own code of conduct.